Hey everybody. I thought I'd check in with y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna do a message right now or not, but I'm doing this video right now because, for one thing, I'm testing my new phone out because I had to get a new phone. I have a second device now because I needed another phone so I could do videos because my other phone wouldn't do these videos, so I was having to use my laptop. But anyway, so if y'all see me walking around, I get to walk around. When I have a phone, other than the laptop, I get to walk around. So anyway, the whole title, the thing is, I've been going through some of this serious spiritual warfare with the last few days, especially. It's getting close to my time, and I'm supposed to be leaving, and the devil don't want me to go. So he gonna throw everything. It's like sticks and stones right now. So I hope my live video, I hope I'm coming through okay. I don't know. This is a test. As I said, I titled this video Spiritual Warfare and Testing because that's what I'm going through right now. So, it's nothing new. Let's say that, nothing new. But this level is pretty new. So, yesterday and this morning, I just didn't know about it. So the thing that's happened was, I've been trying to get everything in order and get everything together so that I could do this, because I know this is going to be a monumental feat. For me, anyway. Some people it may be nothing, but to me it is. And, look. It's a rabbit. This is a bunny rabbit right there. Isn't that cool? Just as I came around here, I'm talking about spiritual warfare. There's just a little bunny sitting right there. It's not doing anything but just enjoying the grass and the nature. Let's see how close we can get to him before he runs away. Hey, bunny. How are you doing today? There he is. Oh, there he goes. I'm just taking a video of you. I'm not going to hurt you. We're just watching you. Everybody's going to watch you. Video. Ah, he's gone. He's gone now. Anyway. That kind of cheered me up a little bit. I'm talking about the devil and the Lord sent me a sign. So, where was I at? Oh, okay. So I had to get some things taken care of, and this issue with this phone, I've been dealing with that because I was wanting to just swap this one for my other one, and then it wouldn't work. I don't know what happened, so I activated a new line with it. So I got two devices now. So anyway, so we'll figure that out later. It actually kind of working out, I guess. All right, if this video's gonna work, then I can video on one, and then I can use my other one for my message, where I have my notes on my messages, so that'll work out pretty perfect. So maybe the Lord knows what He's doing. Who knows? Uh, anyway, where else was that? Oh yeah, and then I had to deal with some business yesterday that stressed me out big time. There's the money again. He's still here. He's right there. He's just sitting there. Oh, he gone. He gone for good that time. Anyway, so, Social Security office. I've been trying for 2 months to get an appointment with them to talk to them, because they need to talk to me, and it keeps just reschedule. So, I mean, their phone systems suck. I mean, excuse my language. I shouldn't say that word. Anyway, it's just something all the time. But the Lord's gonna handle it. And, but the main thing is, the devil is, other than the external warfare that's going on, the main part is the internal warfare that's going on. So it's just crazy. That internal warfare, the devil gets to talking to you, and you start trying to talk yourself into or out of stuff all kinds of ways, and make all kinds of excuses, and start worrying about things. That's why, Jesus said don't be anxious for anything, but we're human and it happens. So, I'm sitting here being anxious about stuff that I shouldn't be anxious about, and I'm sitting here worrying about stuff I shouldn't worry about, and I'm sitting here, the devil will eat at you and try to get you to fear, and, he puts those scenarios in your head about how much can go wrong, and you try to sit there and not worry about it, but he still says, he won't shut up. He won't shut up. So, that's what I'm dealing with today. The devil. He's a loud mouth. He's a loud mouth. He just won't shut up. And he needs to. Big time. So, it's bad, because then he gets to talking, and then my stomach starts hurting. And I don't like it. So he needs to shut up. Anyway, now where was that? Oh, I was going to talk about, I've been held up off my message here about 2 Samuel 2, because I've been so stressed about everything and trying to worry about everything and getting everything in line and everything in order, and I can't even think about what the Lord's work that He needs me to do. I can't even think about doing my messages. But they need to get done. So I'm going to try to get through one right now. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this chapter there's not much to this chapter anyway, so it's an easy one. Other than, in this chapter, Saul is dead, and Jonathan's dead, and there's a spirit of civil war that happens, and it's kind of like this political maneuvering and stuff that happens, because all these people, when there's a power vacuum, that's what happens. Everybody's gonna swoop in and try to gain their position. Just like the devil's trying to do right now. He knows he's got me at a point where I'm really anxious about. He's got me at a weak spot where I'm nervous and I'm anxious about what's going on, and he's trying to swoop in and try all kinds of his little schemes to try to get me off my game. And that's what's happening in this chapter. But so David he's not king yet, and because even Saul's dead. So like I said, because it's been it takes time before David actually becomes king. Between the time David become king and Saul's death and become king, there was a period of time. So there was like nobody was on the throne at that point. So but he inquires with God. He's like, should I go right back to Judah, or what should I do? And God tells him he needs to go to Hebron, where the men, they'll not anoint him king there. And then of course David thanks these men that had did this act, that they went and got Saul and Jonathan's body and buried it. So David thanks them for that. And then there's this that Abner. Oh, Abner. He thinks he's going to be slick. That's what the devil thinks. He always thinks he's going to be slick. And, God's got a plan going on at this point. But Abner thinks that he's going to insert his plan into this situation. But, so he decides that he's going to install Saul's son Ish-bosheths. I can't say his name very good. In place, in power, he's going to install him as king. So I didn't bring my Bible out here with me, so I'm going to let me go to the verses right here. And so he tries to install Ish-bosheth as as king, and so it don't work out too well though, because of course this isn't God's plan. It isn't God's plan that he's going to that he's the good king. God's plan is that David is going to be king. So, but he what he really does is he installs him over the northern tribe. So this is kind of when the kingdom gets split, because he installs him in king. So then the northern tribes follow him as king, but the southern tribes, the tribes of Judah, they're loyal to David. And so, while the rest follow the northern tribe, then, Judah follows David. So that's how the kingdom is split into two. And there's the northern kingdom of Israel, and then there's the southern kingdom of Judah. And this becomes this a problem for a long time. But so David it's 7 years before he becomes king though, fully. So he had to spend some time between, and just like like I said, there's a waiting period a lot of times when You go from a victory to a promise fulfilled. You gain the promise is established, but before it is completely fulfilled, there's a waiting period, and that's what David went through. So then there's this thing that happens in this chapter where these men decide that they're gonna have kind of like this tournament at Gibeon. And it starts out these young men that they're David's men, but Joab leads them at this time into this whole issue. And Abner, Abner are the cause of this situation. What they do is they decide they're gonna have this competition, but they can't get along, so it turns into like this bloodbath. They and Abner winds up and kills Joab's brother, and in self-defense, because they let their emotions get away with them. And they was just supposed to be having a friendly competition. And this wound up sparking this long-term vendetta between the two. You know, this is kind of like a lesson on sportsmanship. Hidden within this chapter. So the major themes in this chapter is divine sovereignty versus human effort. David waits for God's timing, whereas Abner uses political scheming to maintain the status quo of Saul's dynasty. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to keep everything the same. He didn't want any change. He didn't want anything to change. He wanted to keep everything the same. And he thought by installing Ish-bosheths in Saul's stead that he would be able to maintain this and maintain his position of power that he had. Because that's what happens usually. You know, you got the guy at the top, but you got all the they got all the guys that are benefiting off that guy at the top. And all those guys that are benefiting off the guy at the top just don't want that guy at the top to lose his position, because then they lose theirs. So they'll fight so that nothing has changed. No matter, there may be somebody else that is a better leader, like David was, but they don't want to follow that leader. They want somebody like, even if something happened to the one that is in power that was giving them the benefits, they want somebody just like them in their place, so they can still get their benefits. This also highlights the consequences of violence. I said they had this competition. They were just playing at first, but they got too aggressive and wound up, they let pride and all that get in the way, and this violence became a national tragedy. So the play turned to violence, and then the violence escalated even further, so it affected everybody. And it also highlights mercy and victory David's kindness to these men of Jabesh Gilead signaled that his kingdom would be defined by this Hesed, Sepeth love. That's the I think my phone is about to die. Hesed is covenant love, and I was speaking to someone about that the other day, because there's different types of covenants, but a covenant is a choice. It's a choice to love somebody. It doesn't have anything to do with emotions. It doesn't have anything to do with romantic feelings. It doesn't have anything to do with sexual desires. A covenant is a choice that you're going to love somebody. There are different types of covenants. Marriage is a covenant. Friendship is a covenant. A partnership is a covenant. A business partnership is a covenant. And you have to make the choice that you're going to be loyal to that person no matter what. That's what Hesed love means. It means covenant. Ruth and Naomi had this type of love. They had type of covenant. This is once they made the decision, they were stuck. They were bound to one another because they made the decision. And that's what, when Ruth made the decision that she was going to stick no matter what. So, that's the type of love that is highlighted here in this. Like I said, my phone just died, so I don't know where my notes are at the end of this chapter. I don't even have my Bible with me. So I'm going to lay my phone down. Hold on just a second. I'm just going to get my Bible. Alright, I'm back. Alright, I'm just saying where I'm at. So I said I lost my notes. Where was I at? I think I gotta get my... Hold on just a second. Okay, so see, this is why I'm doing a test run on this stuff, y'all. Because I got 2 phones right now, and one of them went dead. See, this is what I'm talking about with the devil. This is what's been going on the last few days. Just like everything. Just one thing after another. And here I am with 2 phones, and then one of them done went dead on me. And I didn't have my notes. And the whole point of me having 2 phones was so that I could have notes. We're going to work it out, though. We're going to work it out. It'll get better one day. Okay. Now let's see. I got them back. Okay. Now, where was I at? So, David's reign was defined by this hayseed love, this covenant love. But Saul's reign was defined by paranoia. So this highlights that distinction between David's reign and Saul's reign. What the main points of their reigns were. And this relates to the biblical narrative and the gospel by it shows us this kingdom pattern that in the broader biblical narrative, this chapter illustrates that this already not yet nature of God's kingdom. See, that's one thing a lot of people don't understand about God's kingdom is that when we speak of things that are we have to speak like that it's already present, but it's coming at the same time. It's already, because that's the truth. What Jesus did when he died on the cross, Jesus established that the kingdom would, he established the kingdom. This kingdom is, there's nothing that's going to stop the kingdom from manifesting. Nothing will ever stop the kingdom from manifesting. But we don't see it yet. In this present reality, we don't see the kingdom. Even though it's already ready, it's already established, but we don't see it now. So that's we're existing in two realities at the same time when we're talking about the reality of the kingdom. The already and the not yet. Just like David, when he was anointed the king, he was anointed rightful king. He was king at the moment that he was anointed king. There was nothing that was going to stop David from becoming king. But he was not yet on the throne ruling. He was on the throne in the spiritual aspect, spiritual reality, but he was not on the throne physically ruling yet. He was already king, but he was not yet exercising his authority as king. So, as I said, when Jesus died and he was resurrected, as soon as he was resurrected, he was king. And the kingdom was established. But, we live in this world where these Ish-bosheths, I said it now, it's a hard word to say for me to say, still claim territory. The devil is still claiming he's claiming everything as his own, even though he's not lost it. He has no authority, but he's still trying to exercise his authority as if he was the one in power. He ain't got the message yet. So anyway, now, this also relates to the true king of peace. David attempted to bring peace to Saul's followers, which points to Jesus. While David was a man of war, his heart was set on unity. Jesus, the son of David, ultimately heals the divide, not through the sword of Joab, but through his own sacrifice, bringing the tribes of all nations together. So even though David he had to do what he had to do to go out and war against these people that were trying to, attack Israel or trying to thwart God's purposes and God's plans. David was a warrior, and he had to do what he had to do. But the whole purpose of what he was doing was to unify. He didn't want to cause a division, but he wanted to unify the people. He wanted to unify Israel, and he wanted to unify God's people. And so, when there were those that were trying to thwart that plan, he had no choice but to do what he had to do to stop them. So that's the same thing with the devil. He will come at you and with everything he's got, trying to stop you from accomplishing God's plan. But you can't let him. You got to stand up to him. You got to fight, and you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure that he doesn't thwart you. But it's a battle. It's like I'm going through. Devil. It also relates to the danger of self-exaltation because, as Abner in this story represented, the human tendency to prop up old dying systems for personal power. And in contrast, the gospel calls us to surrender our right to rule ourselves and submit to the king God has chosen. If God chooses a leader for you, that's who the leader is. But the thing is, there's a lot of people out there just trying to claim to be leaders that they're trying to claim that rightful place, and they're not supposed to be there. They're like the Abners trying to install them Ish-bosheths. That's where discernment comes in. That's when you gotta know by the fruit. David's heart was in the right place. Abner's wasn't. Look what he did when they was trying to just have a friendly tournament, and he winds up kill somebody. David wouldn't even kill Saul because he knew he was the Lord's anointed. He had a chance to kill him twice, and he wouldn't do it. Even though Saul was chasing him to the ends of the earth, trying to kill him. He done throw a spear at him 2 or 3 times. So our lessons for spiritual growth are that we're supposed to consult the Lord first. And David's first move was to ask, shall I go up unto any of the cities of Judah? He asked the Lord what he should do first. And spiritual growth begins when we stop making autonomous decisions and start seeking God's directions for even the obvious next steps. I know what my obvious next steps are, but don't mean the devil ain't trying to because I didn't consult the Lord. I know what he done told me, but that devil's still trying. Still trying. For our spiritual road, it also teaches us the trap of bitterness. Ashiel's death and Joab's subsequent rage served as a warning when we allow grief or perceived injustice to turn into a personal vendetta, we hinder the peace of the kingdom around us. That's what when he killed Joab's brother, Joab was mad, and he was out for blood. He was ready to, burn the world down. It also teaches us faithful waiting. David spent 7 years, roundabout, reigning in Hebron before he became king over all Israel. Growth often happens in the Hebron seasons, which are times when you are doing the right thing but haven't yet seen the full scale of promise. The key takeaway from this chapter teaches us that while human conflict is messy and full of Abners and Joabs, God's purposes for his king are unstoppable, and our role is to inquire of the Lord and to act with the grace of the kingdom we represent. And for a reflection question, what specific aspect of David's transformation in this chapter from fugitive to king do you find most applicable to your own life right now? Some mosquitoes are eating me up right now. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit better. I think that's what I need to do. I think I needed to focus on the Lord's work, and I needed to do this message and get this message out there, so see, that's the thing that thwarts the devil. That's the thing that when you speak the word of God, and you get out there, and every time I preach, that devil shuts up. So, I guess that's what I needed to do today. I needed a message, and that's why I did this video, because I was just sitting here with my phone after I got so stressed out over getting activated, and I finally got it activated, and I said, I'm fixing to show the devil something today. Hallelujah. And guess what? He ain't made a peep for about 10 minutes. So, that's a good thing. I love y'all. That's today's message on 2 Samuel. I didn't even give it a title other than Spiritual Warfare and Testing. But I guess it's a good enough title today. It wasn't going to turn. I just thought I was going to come in here give y'all an update on my spiritual warfare, but I got a message in there, so. I might give y'all another one after a while. If that devil kid starts talking again. Anyway, y'all have a good one.